Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing meatballs. I noticed going in the freezer, we like to keep a bunch of them frozen for using Swedish meatballs, meatballs in my spaghetti sauce, maybe a meatball sandwich, but we're out of them. So it's time for me to make some meatballs. Now we're going to make traditional meatballs for the spaghetti sauce that I'll be probably featuring one of these days. And a new thing that I think I just invented is hot sausage meatballs. Everybody likes a hot sausage sandwich once in a while. I like hot sausage in my spaghetti, but the wife doesn't. So I went to the grocery store a couple times, last 2 times, and asked for hot sausage links, which is what I traditionally use. But being how things are, I got right. All I got is bulk hot sausage, Italian hot sausage. 2 ways. We got this at a restaurant supply store. I thought it was going to be a big box of hot sausage links. No, it wasn't. So I thought, boom, I'm going to make hot sausage meatballs and our traditional regular meatballs. It should work out perfectly. So I'm going to take this, and the neat thing about the hot sausage meatballs that occurs to me is that you don't have to put any spices in them. No egg, no spice whatsoever. I'm just going to mix these 2 competing brands together, smash it up, make meatballs, put them on the baking sheet, because that's one thing I do a little bit differently, is I do bake our meatballs. I'm making these about a little bit bigger than a golf ball size, and should work out well on a hoagie roll, Pittsburgh term, or a sub roll. And that's actually a really good sandwich. It's hot sausage with some bell peppers, some provolone cheese. Really, really good. We're gonna go ahead and put these in. Even the oven's not up to temperature yet, but it shouldn't much matter. And so again, hot sausage meatballs. And then we're gonna have Bison meatballs. We're gonna get right into mixing those up. And that's where the magic comes in for my secret meatball recipe. Nowadays, I just use 100% ground bison. I've got 4 pounds right here I'm gonna start with. First thing I'm gonna do is get these onions. Now I've had these onions, we've seen this before, in a bowl of water. It just kind of takes the stinginess or the bite out of the yellow onions and makes them a little more palatable for the wife and I. Strain those out. And we'll go ahead and dump those in. It looks like a lot, but it'll mix in there pretty well. I like to go 1 egg for each 2 pounds of ground bison or ground beef if I use that. Let's put this here. Another egg. Okay, we've got 2 eggs in there. I like to go with some Parmesan cheese, freshly grated. I just did this before. Throw some of that in there. That's maybe half a cup. We're gonna go with you know what, hold on, I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, we've got that little bit of egg off of my hands, and secret ingredient for me, sometimes I'll use regular breadcrumbs, just Italian breadcrumbs. But when I'm feeling special, I like to take some of Pam's homemade bread, and I like to take this stuff and soak it in milk. And you're gonna see what we do with that. What we'll do is we're gonna squeeze the milk out of the bread and just kind of compress it and then tear it, and we'll throw that in there as a breadcrumb. And you think you're gonna like that. And while that's kind of soaking away, I'm going to go ahead and throw some oregano in here. Now remember, you're using 4 pounds of beef, so that's, you know, you can be healthy with the spices, that's for sure. A little bit of parsley, which is always a welcome addition to anything, right? Got to go with the basil, a little bit of basil. A little bit of celery salt. Sometimes I put chopped celery in there. Sometimes I leave it out. Some red pepper flakes. It's just a little hidden zip in there. And I'm going to go with a couple dashes of kosher salt. 1, 2, 3 pinches there. And maybe some crushed black pepper. Okay, back with the minced garlic. And you can leave this out if you have, you know, some aversion to garlic or allergic. We like it. That's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 cloves for the 4 pounds of beef. And now comes the fun part. If you got to get your hands a little bit dirty to make the meatballs. So I got the bread. Oh, it looks falling apart, doing half the work for me already. Beautiful. Squeeze it a little bit. Get these breadcrumbs in here. That's really going to help the meatballs retain a lot of moisture. Be nice and moist. So you'll really notice that. It'll be a good thing to try if you ever thought about it. And what I'll probably do is mix this around a little bit and see if I need any additional bread. It looks like there's a good bit in there right now. But now, the fun part. Okay, threw the rest of that bread in like we talked about, and some more parm. Got it mixed up pretty well. Start making the balls. Now this first batch is going to be for our spaghetti sauce, which I like them pretty beefy, pretty big, and you'll see that in future episodes. And then the second batch I'll make is smaller ones for Swedish meatballs, maybe candied meatballs, some sort of appetizer dish, and the wife's pretty fond of that stuff, so we'll make her happy. Flip the hot sausage rolls. Kind of pull these out. Yeah, they look pretty good. Get a nice color to them. And probably take about 10 more minutes. Get these flipped over. And then I'm going to put the first batch of meatballs in. Here go the meatballs. Put those babies in. That'll take a while. Wow, kitchen's smelling really good with those hot sausage balls, and the meatballs now cooking away. Now round 2 of the meatballs. These are going to be the smaller ones, the ones for Pam's meatball sandwich, or maybe Swedish meatballs, about the size of a golf ball. And they'll shrink up a little too, of course, when they're in the oven. So I'm going to get these together and hopefully get these in the oven when the hot sausage balls are ready to come out. And we shall see. Of course, I'll be making a little small one just for a little taste test, just for myself, just for quality control purposes. Well, 157 degrees. These babies, I'm going to call them done. You shoot for about 160 on meatballs, and but they'll continue to cook as they're resting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these babies out. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Looking very good. Throw in the Swedish meatballs in their place, and I'll take a look at these meatballs. I'm going to give these a flip around, upside down, turn the pan type of thing. And then we'll put them back in. Let's go and have a taste of one of the hot sausage balls and see what we have here. You can see the inside. Ooh, a little bit hot. Yeah, perfectly done, right? They're going to make for excellent hot sausage sandwiches. They're going to do well on my spaghetti sauce. Ah, man. Really good, really good. I think I invented something pretty good. Hot sausage meatballs, who knew? You notice there's a good bit of grease down in there. I like to take the meatballs out, put them on a cooling rack. Really try to limit that amount of grease. And that's grease that won't come up in your food later on. Test, see how they're doing. Oh, very nice, very nice. Helpful hint, make sure you're on Fahrenheit when you're checking this, unless you're in Canada. 153, 160, we're good there. We're good. I'm calling these babies good. Pull these out. Get a better look at them. And I'll move the smaller meatballs a little bit around, take advantage of the heat. You know what? I don't think we ever flipped these, did we, Pam? Mm-mm. So I better go ahead and flip these. A little bit of flipping. These babies are getting pretty close. We'll go back in for maybe 10 more minutes. One drawback about baking these like I do is you do kind of end up with a flat side, but that's all right. I'll live with it. What I'll do is I'll put these back in the oven. I'll take these bad boys off the rack and move the Bison meatballs for the spaghetti products into the rack to drip free. Here we go. Boom. I think it's time to check the last load of meatballs. And again, we're looking for about 160 degrees. It's a nice plump one. 163. Bingo. Take these babies out. And I'll have to make room for them on the rack. And Jerry, I'm gonna steal from you, and I did make a little angel share in there. And let's see how that baby tastes. Probably gonna be kind of hot. Leave it over there. You really get the Parmesan cheese. Just that nice flavor of that. The basil, the oregano, really tasty. That's going to be a versatile meatball. And the onion isn't too powerful after we soak them in the water like we did. I think you're really going to like this recipe if it's any different than what you're used to making. Thanks for watching.